warm welcome to your real estate show with thanks to Harcourts Tasmania. My name is Rachel Williams and it's a pleasure to be with you this evening. Well, Tasmania has well and truly prevailed post-pandemic in the real estate world. To discuss some of the key triumphs but also some of the challenges, we're joined tonight by the REIT President to discuss. Also tonight, from a slick shack for under $40,000 or to perhaps a solution to the state's housing crisis, we take a look at the tiny home trend. We also venture to the wild West Coast for our regional profile. But first tonight, one for the rich and the famous. We explore an amazing waterfront property in Southern Tasmania as part of our Harcourts property profile. Take a look at this stunning home we're about to see in Lauderdale. Extremely private and secluded. I actually feel like I'm driving up to a Hollywood mansion. I'm going to meet with Ben Vance. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Rachel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Get you the door, hey?
I feel like this is the sort of the house that needs you to get the door.
Absolutely.
This looks like an amazing property, almost an exclusive retreat.
Yeah, look, it's quite amazing, really. I mean, I've never seen a house this big before, let alone listed one to sell. So we're over 700 metres squared of property here over 2 levels. We've got a gymnasium, a pool, a self-contained apartment, 6 bedrooms plus, the list goes on.
Wow, and you'd think with being twice the size of a normal house, it would cost a lot to run, but you're telling me not so much.
Got a very impressive solar system with a battery backup, which is very rare. We're almost sitting at cost neutral.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a look through. Hopefully I won't get lost. I'm only disappointed I didn't bring my bathers.
Enjoy.
Well, aside from personally not wanting to have to clean all the windows in this amazing property, check out the spectacular view from your kitchen and living area overlooking Ralph's Bay. I actually feel as though I'd never leave here. I'd be the fittest and healthiest woman in the world. Look at the view from your private gym. Everything about this property is huge, so it's no surprise the self-contained living is also pretty big, a perfect place for friends and family. Well, I'm assuming anyone is allowed in the man cave. Wouldn't you have some fun in here? I've literally been blown away by what's effectively a mansion on a really rare piece of land.
Yeah, it is, Rach. So the land here is 5 acres of waterfront land with the title down to the high water mark, so pretty special.
So if I was so inclined, I could build a jetty with my private yacht? Yeah. Okay, how much money do I need to secure this bit of land first?
So we're on the market now, a 4-week campaign. We're starting at offers from $3 million.
Okay, so if you've got a lazy $3 million lying around, give Ben Vance a call at Harcourts Hobart. We're now joined by the Real Estate Institute of Tasmania President Mandy Welling. Hello, Mandy. Thank you so much for joining us on your real estate show. What an amazing year of growth for real estate in Tasmania. No doubt not what you were predicting this time last year when we all went into lockdown.
Not at all, Rachel, and thank you very much for having me tonight. It's just been incredible. So all of the experts around not only the country but around the globe essentially were asking us to brace for impact in the face of COVID. And the market in Tasmania has been ridiculously resilient and gone in the opposite direction.
We love each week when we do our regional profiles going through our REIT stats to see the amazing growth and just amazing in some parts of the state. What are some of the exciting figures that you think are really important to show the growth in Tasmania?
I think some of the important ones are, for starters, probably Hobart's median sale price has exceeded every capital city in the country other than Sydney and Melbourne at the moment. So about 4 weeks ago, we did overtake Brisbane as far as our median sale price goes. So when you think back a decade ago, if somebody had mentioned this, you'd have thought that it was some sort of long-running joke. So, but it's reality.
And also to the number of Tasmanians investing in their home state?
Yeah, that's magnificent. That's probably the figure that excited us the most. So for the last calendar from January through to December, a total of 90% of all transactions carried out in Tasmania were to Tasmanians. So it was a phenomenal figure.
Yeah, and I know there's some big issues that are currently being debated and looked at through Parliament. What are your thoughts on those, as well as also how we can solve this issue with low stock supply?
Yeah, this is a major concern across both the sales and the rental market, and not anything to be taken lightly. The REIT have been voicing their opinion about this for about a decade, especially when it comes to rental properties. So the shortage of rental properties around the state, those factors have actually increased activity in Tasmania, and that ultimately is responsible for what's happening right now, in addition to COVID. So that will be a big issue for us going forward, and something that every Tasmanian should be sincerely concerned about.
And I know a lot of people are discussing this cap in rent prices. What do you think would happen if that was to occur?
I just we pretty well that this is not something that should be considered. So as far as that goes, we already have gun-shy investors in Tasmania. If rent capping were to occur, there would be a high chance that most of the investors would take their stock, sell it and invest their funds elsewhere. And this state cannot afford for that to happen.
Yeah. And what about for first home buyers struggling to get in the market at the moment? Obviously good stats, but challenging nonetheless.
Yeah, most definitely. And isn't it funny, when we look back to when I purchased my first home, my mortgage was about $41,000. And that was shocking to me at the time, to be honest. So, but when we're looking at first home buyers at the moment, buying upwards of, $400,000 and $550,000, to an extent it is quite relevant, and I completely understand that, but it's still considered to be a large figure for first home buyers. The state and federal first home builders grants have been exceptional for first home buyers, and that's seen an increase of about 53% in first home buyer activity across the state, which is fantastic. We really want to see first home buyers get in.
And what are your predictions over the course of the next 12 months? Obviously, we didn't see what's happened this 12 months post-pandemic, but what's for the future, do you think?
Yeah, look, I think as long as we have the supply and demand issues that we have, we'll continue to see the market that we've experienced for the previous 12 months. As frightening as that is, we need more stock, and that begins with the developers and land supply. So we really need to free up the planning schemes around the entire state to enable the ability to be able to subdivide land for more development. There's just not enough of it at the moment, and that's creating the issue.
Yeah, so we do have the Planning Institute coming on in an upcoming episode, so we'll have a chat to them about that. Thank you so much for your time today, Mandy.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, every week we've been looking at different regions across the state with thanks to homely.com.au, and tonight we venture to the Wild West. We're joined now by Harcourts West Coast business owner Jenelle Carey. Thank you so much for joining us from your beautiful but wild part of the world tonight, Jenelle. It is an amazing, amazing place. Give us an idea of how things are looking overall in your area.
Look, we're experiencing one of the busiest times that I've certainly known of in the last 15 years. If we list a property in Rosebery today, it's gone tomorrow. Things are moving very quickly.
We're going to show some beautiful vision of how amazing the West Coast really is, and it seems to me that it's really got its brand messaging on point. It's had an influx of festivals and tourists, but also a bit of a resurgence in mining and economic development too, by the sounds of things.
Yes. Yeah, look, certainly every town's got a different story, and there's different things happening everywhere, but certainly a lot of activity.
and that must be positive from you. We'll take a look now at some of the towns that you do cover, and we'll start off with beautiful Strawn when we bring up those stats. And just to see the amazing, doubling over 20 years for that median house price up to around 210,000 with a maximum of 510,000. What's happening in Strawn?
Strawn, as we know, is a fishing village. Things are fairly consistent there at the moment, but look, always beautiful.
Okay, and to Queenstown now, we'll have a look at those stats. Obviously, it's another amazing increase over the course. Back in 2000, it was $25,000 for the median price, and now up to $112,000. What's generated that growth?
Queenstown's a real artist hub, and I think because it's got most of the infrastructure for the West Coast, a lot of people will prefer to move there because there's more services. But look, at the moment it's just gone crazy. Property prices there have really jumped in the last 3 months. They've jumped about 25,000. Yep. And again, we just can't keep a property out there for sale.
And Zeehan as well, obviously a challenge over the course of history with its mining ups and downs, but that's looking at a median of 120,000.
Yeah, prices have gone down a little bit in Zeehan over the past 6 months, but look, I really think Zeehan's a little bit of a sleeping giant. We're looking forward to the opening of Avebury Mine again, hopefully later on this year, and the bike tracks all bring different sorts of people to the West Coast, but it's certainly an adventurous hub.
And just finally, a quick look at Rosebery, the median price there, 99,000, so still under the 100,000 mark. That's good buying by the looks of it.
Very good buying, and prices have certainly moved up there over the last 12 months. But, we used to have about 30 properties on the market. At the moment, we've got 1.
Okay, and I do understand your phone has been red hot. You've been inundated with calls after the West Coast Council released some land for sale. Tell me about that.
Yeah, look, we had about 10 pieces of land. Most of those have been sold already. We listed them on Friday, and very, very popular for the adventurers.
And what sort of, who's buying them? What's the socio-economic demographic, I suppose, for people investing in the area?
Yeah, a lot more people that I think have got interest in the bike tracks. Certainly we've had a lot of people that just want to put sheds up, put caravans on and come along and do some of the adventuring.
Okay, well, it looks like I better buy myself a mountain bike and head your way to do a property profile at some stage.
I think we'll all get fit that way.
Lovely. Thanks for your time tonight, Jenelle.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Well, to finish off tonight, it's time for our lifestyle segment with thanks to Snooze Launceston, and we're taking a look inside the tiny home movement. Well, the concept of a smaller living footprint is truly taking off in Tasmania. I'm here with Tiny Homes Tasmania boss Jason Zaddo in your 20-foot container that you have here. Tell us about why tiny homes are so popular.
Look, the main reason is affordability. People these days, they want something new. They want to add on to what they've already got that's existing. It's a lot more affordable to do that than rather go out and then, recreate exactly what you're after, be it a bigger home or an extension. These things here, they're a lot more affordable to maintain. They're cost effective to build, and then you're very low impact. So you're not using a great amount of electricity. You're not using a lot of water. It's a minimalist lifestyle and it's very low impact and sustainable.
And this is being used as a display home and also an Airbnb. What are the other uses that you find your clients like to have them made for?
So a lot. There's a varying degree. There's certainly Airbnb is one. People want that extra income. It's very unique, so it's very popular. This one is an Airbnb. It gets used quite a bit. It's a very well used facility here that we have. Teenage retreats. Parents, the teenagers, you want to get them outside of the house. You still want to have control, but they can certainly have their own space. Also with the elderly, you want to have security for them. They want to feel comfortable. They're close by and you can have them on your property
and well looked after.
And tell us about the logistics of transforming this from a shipping container we see on the back of a truck to something that you can live in.
Absolutely. So we build them on site here. They obviously start as a bare shell. We fit them out just like if you build any normal house, it's just inside a steel box. We build them on site and then transport them to their final destination, where it's as simple as setting up your plumbing and electrical, and they arrive on site looking like this on the inside. So just open the doors and you've really got a new space to live in.
Okay, and you can customise with your own windows and doors, as you say. What are the logistics from a planning perspective?
Yep, so they are classed as an ancillary dwelling, meaning they're under 60 square metres in floor plan. That's for a 20-foot home or a 40-foot home. Obviously this one's a 20, but basically that means that you don't have to go through planning approvals, that you get an exemption for that. You go straight to building approval. We help with your plans. We help you sort of step through the process, and it's a lot quicker. So it just sort of goes along with what these things are all about.
Well, they're certainly very popular, with hundreds being built right across the state. What is the rough price estimate that you would
Yep.
be
So
able to say?
as I said, they are affordable. We start from 35 grand fully fitted out for a 20-footer. It goes up to about $75,000, which is a fraction of the cost of a brand new home. You're looking at $250,000 plus, and plus your land. So look, it is a fraction, and it is very affordable for a lot of people.
And just finally, how popular do you think they're going to maintain and grow into the future?
Exceptionally. I don't see people never having a need for extra room or extra space, especially something that's fresh and new and clean. You can always do certain things around the house, but adding something like this to your house, or enable to add on to what you've already got, it's very important. They're very flexible units. You can move it on. If you relocate, you can take it with you. You can't do that if you build an extension on your house. No. You can't do that if you're in those situations.
Wonderful. Thanks for your time today, Jason.
No worries. Thank you.
Well, that's it for your real estate show with Thanks to Harcourts this week. We are going to take a short break over the Easter holiday and school holiday period, but we will be back with some more exciting and engaging content. So if you've got anything that's interesting happening in your part of the world, perhaps you've won an award for building or design, or you want us to tackle an issue for us, drop us a line and we'll see what we can do. But that's it for now. Good night.